So Ilia Topuria is now the lightweight champion, and there's a very decent chance that his next fight will be against Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. They have beef, they don't like each other, the build-up would be fun, and it would probably turn out to be an entertaining fight. Does Paddy Pimblett necessarily deserve the next title shot? No, but to be fair, the other two fighters who are demanding a title shot don't necessarily deserve one either. Arman Tsarukyan messed up an entire event and is refusing to fight another contender to earn his title shot again, and Justin Gaethje just barely got past a short notice Fiziev. And to be honest, I think that Paddy Pimblett has a higher chance of beating Ilia Topuria than Arman Tsarukyan and Justin Gaethje do. I think Arman Tsarukyan has a worse style matchup for Ilia Topuria to deal with, but I think just out of chances and kind of sheer luck, I think that Paddy Pimblett just has more chances of beating Ilia Topuria. Arman could just wrestle with Ilia Topuria and win that way, but I feel like that would be way harder than everyone is making it out to seem. Ilia has good wrestling and good ground game. And I think Arman Tsarukyan would just eventually get flatlined because he would have to stand up with Ilia a little bit in that fight, and his striking is nowhere near as good as Ilia Topuria's. Same with Justin Gaethje. I honestly think that if Justin Gaethje fought Ilia Topuria, that fight would only go on for a minute and a half, and then it would be left with Justin Gaethje flatlined, face first, on the canvas, completely knocked out cold by Ilia Topuria. Justin Gaethje's entire fight style involves getting hit a lot. He kind of depends on taking a good shot to give an even better shot back. And as we've seen through his last couple of fights, Justin Gaethje just clearly cannot take the same amount of damage that he's been able to for his past other fights. Like his first fight with Dustin Poirier, his entire strategy was to tire out Dustin just by letting Dustin punch him in the face. But now it seems like every time Justin gets hit in the face, he kind of gets stunned by it. If you want to be able to beat Ilia Topuria, I feel like you need to use a lot of kicks, a lot of head kicks, keep Ilia's arms by his head because he's afraid of a head kick, and flying knees, knees up the middle. I just think you have to be somewhat unpredictable when you fight Ilia Topuria. Or you could just submit Ilia. I do think that would be hard to do, but I think Paddy would have a higher chance of being able to submit Ilia than Arman Tsarukyan would, since Arman is more of a wrestler and Paddy is more of a submission artist. And we saw with Michael Chandler, Paddy has some pretty decent flying knees. Plus, Paddy Pimblett is absolutely massive for the lightweight division. Whenever I think of him, I always feel like he's way smaller, but then I see him in the octagon and he's absolutely massive. Paddy could strike with Ilia for long enough to then set up a takedown, elbow Ilia on the ground, and do some damage, whereas Arman's only option would be to wrestle, and I'd say Paddy is better on the feet than Arman. Now, don't get me wrong, I do think Paddy Pimblett would get absolutely smoked and flatlined by Ilia Topuria, because even though he's still pretty good, he does make a lot of rookie mistakes. He leaves his chin up in the air a lot, and even though Paddy Pimblett is good on the feet and probably could strike with Ilia for a couple of minutes, it's very obvious that Paddy Pimblett's striking is not nearly as technical as Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria might be one of the most technical strikers in the sport right now, and he's definitely the best boxer in the sport. Plus, I saw an absolutely insane stat. Apparently, Paddy Pimblett's last 3 opponents have a combined record of 0 and 13. That is absolutely awful. Paddy Pimblett's last 3 opponents have been Tony Ferguson, Bobby Green, and Michael Chandler. Paddy is absolutely fighting only washed fighters. So if he fights Ilia Topuria, it could be the same situation as Joaquin Buckley and Kamaru Usman, where Buckley just gets absolutely fraud-checked and destroyed by Usman. And as I said before, I do think Paddy would get absolutely flatlined by Ilia, but I also think his chances are a lot higher than a lot of people think. I'd say Paddy Pimblett's chances of winning would be 20 to 25%, and I know that seems very low, but considering he's fighting Ilia, those are pretty good chances. I mean, especially when you consider that Justin Gaethje's chances are literally 5% chances of him winning. If he did win though, I think it would be from a head kick. I know a lot of people say, oh, I'd knock him out with a head kick because of Jai Herbert, but I'm not just saying that because of that. I'm saying it because Justin Gaethje could head kick Ilia, kind of like how he did Dustin Poirier in their second fight, but there's literally a 5% chance of that working. And that is going to be the very end of the video. I know this video is a lot shorter than a lot of my other videos, but to be honest, there's just not really that much to say. I think that anyone who fights Ilia at lightweight is just going to end up getting like flatlined and smoked and destroyed. And I don't think anyone's going to beat Ilia at lightweight. And if they do, maybe a fluke win. But who knows, maybe we're overhyping Ilia a lot. But if you made it this far into the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. And if you want to see more videos like this, I have a lot. From a video I made on is Ilia Topuria the GOAT in the UFC, to another video on how I think that Jon Jones has been to a Diddy party. And I'll just give you the short answer. Yes, Jon Jones has absolutely been to a Diddy party. But anyways, go watch those videos. See you guys in the next one. Goodbye.